Warren Bennis, Transparency, How Leaders Create a Culture of Candor. Prepare to embark on an exploration of transparency and the vital role it plays in effective leadership and thriving organizations. In the book, Transparency, How Leaders Create a Culture of Candor, author Warren Bennis details the importance of establishing a culture where honesty and open communication are valued and where information flows throughout the organization and beyond. The book's summary delves into the ethical dimensions of transparency, how the rise of electronic media is reshaping information flow, and the role of trust and authority. It also addresses the challenges of maintaining privacy and addresses the potential pitfalls of groupthink, shedding light on the significance of transparency in organizational success and longevity.
Transparency and its power. Transparency is essential for creating a culture of candor, making ethical decisions, and reinforcing social and economic values. Organizations that foster transparency are more likely to succeed and have better team dynamics. However, total transparency is not possible or desirable in every instance, such as when keeping business secrets or maintaining national security. The emergence of electronic media and blogs has caused a shift in power, making transparency a promise and a threat to privacy. While transparency has its benefits, it can also invade parts of life that used to be private and blur the line between fact and fiction. Transparency, trust, and speaking truth to power are interrelated ethical and organizational concepts that require balance to achieve their full potential. Leading with transparency. Leaders set the standard for transparency in organizational dealings. By demanding candor and openness and demonstrating it themselves, a culture is established where people feel free to challenge their leaders and pursue the truth. Trust is vital in promoting transparency. It is important to recognize the ethical issues involved in transparency and to spell out motives so that everyone can learn from actions and reasoning. Methods to enhance transparency could be institutionalized or simply articulated and circulated principles for corporate actions. Testing transparency is important to discuss difficult subjects such as executive compensation. To earn trust, leaders should act consistently over time and balance opposing factors. The importance of transparency. Transparency is vital, yet numerous factors impede it, including greed, structural impediments, and weak processes that lead to opacity. In pursuit of speedy action, organizations may sacrifice transparency. Leaders can unwittingly set a bad example by holding information too closely. Inability to gather all possible information may also lead to subtle blindness. In some cases, people keep vital lies from their families, causing negative consequences. While knowledge is still power, as knowledge becomes more widely distributed, so does the power it generates. Embracing transparency on ethical and practical grounds is the state in which it is easiest to accomplish one's goals. Speaking truth to power. For centuries, there has been a need to speak the truth to those in power, but it has always come with great risk. In the corporate world, whistleblowers can face serious damage to their careers for speaking out. Many organizations discourage dissent and promote groupthink, which undermines innovation and devalues conflicting perspectives. Lack of transparency can lead to disastrous plans and even purges of those who speak out. Leaders can become too prideful and overspend on poor ideas if there are no checks and balances. While it takes courage to bring bad news to a CEO, often the messages are softened or spun to avoid repercussions. It is important to understand the importance of speaking truth to those in power, despite the risks, to maintain transparency, trust, and collaboration.
As we conclude our journey through transparency, how leaders create a culture of candor, we are reminded that transparency contributes significantly to an organization's overall success and fosters a collaborative and trusting culture. However, maintaining privacy and striking the right balance of information sharing is just as crucial, as too much exposure can be damaging. As a leader, it is vital to encourage openness, trust, and values-driven decision-making while being cautious about possible pitfalls associated with groupthink. In a world where electronic media breaks barriers and shapes information flow, being honest and candid is the key to generating long-lasting organizational success.